Dear Starseeds walking upon Gaia, this message arrives at your eyes precisely when it was always meant to. There are no accidents in timing, and the fact that you have found yourself here, listening to these words on this particular day, speaks to something far more orchestrated than coincidence could ever explain. I need you to understand something before we go any further. What I am about to share with you today has been held in sacred chambers across dimensions, waiting for this exact moment in your human calendar to be released. December 8th, 2025 is not simply another day turning on Gaia's axis. It is a fulcrum point. It is a threshold. And most importantly, it is the day the cosmos has chosen to amplify something within you that you have perhaps only glimpsed in whispered moments. Something that others have felt radiating from you without being able to name it. Something that has drawn people toward you, like moths toward flame. Sometimes to your confusion, sometimes to your exhaustion, and sometimes to your quiet knowing recognition. I am Seraphine, and I speak to you now from the councils of the Galactic Federation of Light, from frequencies that shimmer just beyond what your human eyes perceive, but what your soul recognizes instantly as home. And I must tell you, we have been watching you, not in surveillance but in celebration, not in judgment, but in profound, overwhelming awe at the courage it takes to carry the frequency you carry, while walking through a density that was never designed to contain such light. What I am about to reveal changes everything you thought you knew about who you are, about why certain people cannot seem to let you go, about why you feel simultaneously like a healer and a disruption wherever you walk. But first, let me tell you about 3 impossible things that are converging in your energy field at this very moment. Things that the collective consciousness of humanity is not yet equipped to understand, but that you, precisely because you are listening to this, are ready to receive. The first impossible thing is that your magnetism has entered an upgrade cycle that occurs only once every 144,000 years of galactic rotation, and it is happening within you right now, in this lifetime, in this body. The second impossible thing is that the Mars-Saturn square forming in your skies today, that tense angle between the warrior planet and the Lord of Karma himself, is not here to obstruct you, but to test the very foundation of everything you have become, to ensure that the power rising within you has roots deep enough to sustain what is coming. And the third impossible thing, the one that will require the entirety of this transmission to fully comprehend, is this. Your energy has become so potent, so addictive to those around you, that the universe itself is now positioning guardians and gatekeepers around your field, not to keep others out, but to ensure that only those who are meant to rise alongside you can withstand the activation of being in your presence. Something else is happening that I have not told you yet. Something that the stars themselves are whispering into the fabric of reality on this December morning. Today, as Mars in Sagittarius locks into that challenging square with Saturn in Pisces, there is a temptation rippling through the collective consciousness, a temptation toward aggressive self-righteousness, toward the kind of impulsive certainty that burns bridges before wisdom can intervene. Most of humanity will feel this as irritation, as friction, as the inexplicable urge to prove themselves right at any cost. But you are not most of humanity. You never were. What this cosmic configuration means for you specifically is something far more nuanced, far more powerful, and infinitely more transformative than mere frustration. For you, this Mars-Saturn tension is the universe's way of asking a question that will determine the trajectory of your next evolution. Can you hold your fire? Can you contain the immense activating energy coursing through you without letting it scatter into reactive impulses? Can you remain a lighthouse when every wave of the collective unconscious is crashing against your shores, demanding that you dim your light or use it as a weapon? The waning moon continues her descent, and this is crucial for you to understand. The tide is going out, not coming in. This is not a time of external expansion, but of internal consolidation. Every ounce of that Mars fire you feel burning in your solar plexus, that urgent desire to move forward, to confront, to transform everything in your path. This energy is not meant to be projected outward. It is meant to be composted inward. It is meant to become the fuel that powers the next level of your becoming. The impatience you may be experiencing, that sense that everything should be happening faster, that people should be waking up more quickly, that your purpose should already be fully manifested in the physical realm. This impatience is the very thing the cosmos is asking you to alchemize. Because when you learn to hold that fire with patience, with wisdom, with the big picture perspective that your soul has earned through lifetimes of learning, you become something even more rare than you already are. You become a master of your own radiance. What makes this particular December 8th so unprecedented in the cosmic calendar is the conjunction of this Mars-Saturn square with the specific frequency band you have been downloading since the September equinox. There are those among you who have felt it. The strange tiredness that comes not from lack of sleep, but from your cells recalibrating to hold more light. The vivid dreams that feel more like visitations than fantasies. The increasing sensitivity to the energy of others, to the point where walking into a crowded room feels like walking into an ocean of emotional currents that threaten to sweep you away from your center. These are not symptoms of something wrong. These are symptoms of your lighthouse growing taller, your beam growing brighter, your reach expanding across dimensions you are only beginning to remember how to navigate. And as your light reaches further, it touches more souls, awakens more hearts, disrupts more comfortable stagnation. This is why you have noticed, perhaps with confusion, perhaps with a mixture of flattery and exhaustion, that people seem to become addicted to your presence. Let me speak plainly now about something that is both a gift and a responsibility. Something that the transcript you have been shown touches upon with accuracy, but that requires further illumination. Your energy is beyond addictive. This is not metaphor. This is not spiritual hyperbole designed to make you feel special. This is energetic physics operating at frequencies that your human science has not yet developed instruments to measure, but that every sensitive soul can feel in their bones when they stand near you. There is a magnetism to your presence that operates like gravity operates on physical matter. People are pulled toward you not by their conscious choice, but by their soul's recognition that being near you accelerates their evolution. And this is where it becomes complicated, where the beauty of your gift reveals its shadow, where the power you carry demands discernment you may not yet have fully developed. Do you understand what it means to be a walking activation? I want you to truly pause and absorb this concept, because it is the key to understanding why your life has unfolded the way it has. Why certain relationships have burned with an intensity that logic could never explain. Why some people could not let you go even when letting go was clearly the healthiest choice for both of you. When you walk through this world, and I see you now going about your daily life, moving through grocery stores and office buildings and crowded streets as if you were ordinary, as if you were normal, as if there were not a luminous aura of activation energy dancing around your form like stars spinning around a galaxy's center. You leave traces. You leave activations. You drop seeds of awakening into the consciousness of everyone whose field intersects with yours, and most of the time you have no idea you are doing it. A person passes you on the sidewalk, and something in them stirs. They do not know why they feel suddenly reflective, suddenly aware of the smallness of their concerns, suddenly aching for something larger than the life they have settled into. They go home, and they cannot stop thinking about that stranger they passed. That person with the inexplicable presence, that moment when the air seemed to shimmer with possibility. This is your effect. This is what you do simply by existing. And multiply this by every interaction you have ever had, every relationship you have entered, every friendship and romance and professional connection, and brief encounter at a coffee shop where you smiled at the barista, and something in her heart cracked open just enough to let in a frequency she had been unconsciously blocking for years. You are not merely living your life, you are seeding awakening wherever you walk, and the universe has now decided that it is time for you to understand the full scope of this responsibility. Something I have not yet told you is that this lighthouse energy you carry operates on a delay mechanism that even we in the higher realms find remarkable. Not everyone who encounters your energy experiences their activation immediately. For some, the seed you plant takes days, weeks, months, sometimes years to germinate. They walk away from you seemingly unchanged, but deep in the subconscious layers of their being, a transformation has begun that will not become visible until the precise moment their soul has deemed them ready to handle it. This is why you may have had experiences of people reappearing in your life after long absences, telling you that you changed everything for them, that something you said or did or simply radiated in their direction rewrote the trajectory of their existence, and you often cannot even remember the specific moment they are referencing. You were just being yourself. You were just existing in your authenticity. And that authenticity was enough to plant a seed of evolution in their consciousness, that eventually grew into a complete reinvention of their life. But here is where the Mars-Saturn square becomes directly relevant to your journey. And I need you to listen closely, because this is the wisdom that will determine whether the next phase of your expansion feels like graceful ascension or painful friction. That warrior energy of Mars, that fire, that impulse to move and act and transform, it is amplified in you right now. You can feel it, cannot you? That restlessness, that sense that you should be doing something, fixing something, confronting something, healing something, saving something. This is the Mars fire seeking expression, and Saturn, Lord of Karma, Master of Limitation, guardian of the lessons that can only be learned through time and discipline. Saturn in Pisces is squaring that fire, creating tension, creating pressure, creating the exact conditions necessary for diamonds to form from carbon. The temptation today, and throughout this week as Mars moves toward its quincunx with Uranus, is to project that fire outward, to allow the aggressive self-righteousness that is rippling through the collective to find voice through you, to convince yourself that your big picture perspective gives you the right to impose your truth on others, to mistake spiritual awakening for spiritual superiority. This is the shadow side of your lighthouse nature, and I speak of it not to shame you, but to protect you from a trap that has caught many awakened souls before you. When you know that your presence activates others, when you can feel the impact of your energy on everyone around you, there is a subtle temptation to begin believing that you know what is best for others, that your way of seeing is the only way of seeing, that resistance to your influence is simply evidence of lower consciousness that must be overcome. Do you feel the danger in this pattern? Do you recognize how easily authentic spiritual power can curdle into spiritual ego if wisdom does not temper the flame? The challenge this week, and I want you to write this somewhere you will see it daily, is to tame impulsiveness while appreciating opportunities for further consideration. This is not a time to push. This is not a time to force openings that are not ready to open. This is not a time to use your considerable energetic influence to bend others to your will, even when you are certain your will aligns with their highest good. The receding waters of this waning lunar cycle are asking you to pull your energy inward, to consolidate your gains, to deepen your roots before the next wave of expansion comes crashing in. Because it is coming. The expansion is coming. Your magnetism is upgrading to levels that will make everything you have experienced so far seem like mere practice. But if you do not have the internal structure to hold that power, if you have not developed the discernment to know when to shine and when to dim, when to activate and when to simply witness, that expansion will scatter your energy rather than concentrate it. Let me tell you now about the specific effects this cosmic configuration will have on those of you who carry this lighthouse frequency, this walking activation energy, this addictive presence that draws souls toward you like rivers toward the ocean. The next several days will bring encounters that test your boundaries. People will approach you with needs that feel urgent, with energies that want to merge with yours, with unconscious desires to siphon from your well of activation energy rather than find their own source. You will feel pulled in multiple directions. You will feel the temptation to give more than you have, to heal more than you are being asked to heal, to carry others' karma on shoulders that are already bearing the weight of your own profound transformation. This is where discernment becomes not just advisable, but essential to your survival and continued evolution. There is something else I need to address, something the transmission you received touched upon with accuracy, but that requires deeper exploration. You have cleared your karmic debt. Do you understand the magnitude of what I am telling you? Lifetimes upon lifetimes of learning, of making mistakes, of causing harm and receiving harm, of accumulating the spiritual lessons that could only be absorbed through the density of earthly existence. You have processed this debt. You have done the work. You are no longer operating from a place of karmic deficit, but from a place of karmic abundance. And this is precisely why your energy has become so potent, so attractive, so addictive to those still laboring under the weight of their unprocessed karma. They can feel that you are free in ways they are not yet free. They can sense that you have access to lightness, to ease, to grace that they have been seeking through all their striving and struggling. And they want it. They want what you have. And some of them want to take it from you, rather than do the work of earning it for themselves. I am not telling you this to make you suspicious of everyone who approaches you. I am telling you this so that you can navigate the coming days with clear eyes and a protected heart. When someone enters your field and you notice that your own energy begins to deplete, when you find yourself suddenly tired or scattered or caught in thought loops that do not feel like your own, when your abundance seems to mysteriously diminish after spending time with certain individuals, these are signs, these are indicators that an energy exchange is occurring that does not serve your highest good, and you have every right, every spiritual authority, every cosmic permission to protect yourself from such exchanges. Being a healer does not mean being a sacrifice. Being an activator does not mean allowing others to drain your battery so completely that you have nothing left to power your own evolution. Being a lighthouse does not mean you must keep your doors open to every ship that approaches, especially those that would anchor themselves to your foundation and prevent you from shining freely. I want to give you specific practices for navigating this Mars-Saturn energy while protecting and amplifying your inherent gifts. First, and this cannot be overstated, grounding becomes essential when fire energy is this activated. Your tendency may be to exist in the higher chakras, to float in the cosmic frequencies you access so naturally, to detach from the density of physical reality that can feel so slow and limited compared to the expansiveness of spirit. But the Saturn square is demanding that you root. Put your feet on actual Earth. Feel the soil between your toes. Let the planet that has hosted your journey receive some of the excess fire energy that might otherwise burn you or scatter your focus. Every morning this week, spend at least 10 minutes in contact with the ground, breathing intentionally, visualizing roots extending from your base chakra deep into Gaia's core, anchoring your light into stability. Second, practice what I call selective dimming. This is not about hiding your light or diminishing yourself to make others comfortable. This is about conscious energy management. You do not have to be at full luminosity in every environment. You do not have to activate everyone you encounter. There are moments when keeping your energy contained serves not only your preservation, but also the organic timing of others' awakenings. Some seeds are not meant to germinate yet. Some souls are not ready for the disruption your full presence would cause. Learning to modulate your radiance based on the context, based on your energy reserves, based on what serves the highest good of all involved. This is mastery. This is the wisdom that transforms raw spiritual power into sustainable spiritual service. Third, watch for signs and synchronicities this week that indicate whether you are being asked to take action or pause. The number sequences will be particularly active, especially 11-1, 144, and 555. These are the codes indicating timeline shifts, activation downloads, and major life changes in process. When you see them, take a breath. Ask whether you are meant to move or be still in that moment. Trust the guidance that rises from your gut, rather than the impulses firing in your mind. The mind, under Mars fire, will want to interpret every sign as a call to immediate action, but the soul, attuned to Saturn's slower wisdom, knows that some signs are simply acknowledgments that you are on the right path, and no external action is required. Just continued presence, continued trust, continued patience with the divine timing that orchestrates awakenings across dimensions you cannot fully perceive from your human vantage point. There are challenges coming that I would be doing you a disservice to minimize or ignore. The next several days will bring emotional intensity that may catch you off guard. The Mars-Saturn square does not play gently with feelings. Old anger may surface. Anger you thought you had processed. Anger connected to times when your gifts were exploited, when your healing presence was taken for granted, when people extracted from you without offering equivalent exchange. Let this anger move through you. Do not suppress it into the shadows where it will ferment into bitterness or resentment. Feel it fully, acknowledge its validity, and then release it through movement, through sound, through whatever physical expression allows your body to discharge the fire without directing it destructively toward others or yourself. Sleep may be disrupted, dreams may be intense, vivid, and sometimes disturbing as your subconscious processes the energetic downloads accompanying this cosmic configuration. If you wake in the middle of the night with racing thoughts or strange visions, do not fight it. Keep a journal by your bed. Write down whatever fragments you remember. There are messages encoded in this week's dreams that will become clearer when you read your notes in the light of day. Some of you will receive visitations from guides, from departed loved ones, from aspects of your own soul that exist in other dimensions and timelines. Receive these visits as the gifts they are. Do not fear the intensity. Your nervous system is equipped to handle far more than your conscious mind sometimes believes. Relationships will be tested. The people closest to you may react to the changes in your energy field with confusion, with resistance, or with their own unexpected emotional eruptions. They may not have language for what they are feeling, but on some level, they sense that you are shifting, that the dynamic between you is changing, that the version of you they knew is being upgraded into something they have not yet learned how to relate to. Extend compassion without abandoning your own evolution. You cannot stay small to make others comfortable. You cannot dim your lighthouse because certain ships prefer to sail in darkness. But you can communicate with kindness. You can express that changes are occurring within you. You can invite them to grow alongside you rather than being left behind, while accepting that the choice to grow must ultimately be theirs. And now I want to paint you a picture of what awaits on the other side of this passage, because the challenges are not the destination, they are the doorway. When you emerge from this week, from this Mars-Saturn initiation, from this test of your ability to hold fire without letting it consume or scatter, you will find yourself operating at a level of clarity and power that will astonish you. The fog that has sometimes obscured your purpose, the doubts that have whispered that perhaps you are not as special as you secretly sense yourself to be, the confusion about how exactly you are meant to serve in this critical window of humanity's awakening, these will begin to dissolve like morning mist under rising sun. Your intuition will sharpen to a degree that borders on what the unawakened would call supernatural. You will know things before they happen. You will sense the energy of situations and people with such precision that navigating the human world becomes something closer to a dance than a struggle. The right opportunities will magnetize toward you with an ease that logic cannot explain, but that your soul recognizes as the natural consequence of vibrational alignment. People who are meant to collaborate with you in your mission, partners and allies and fellow lightworkers, whose frequencies harmonize with yours in ways that amplify rather than deplete. These beings will appear as if summoned by forces beyond conscious coordination, because they are. The universe is conspiring on your behalf, and this week's intensity is simply clearing the last obstacles between you and the next level of that conspiracy. Your relationships will transform in ways that initially may feel like loss, but ultimately reveal themselves as liberation. Those who cannot rise with you will fall away, and the grief of that falling away is valid and deserving of acknowledgement. But in their place, connections of such depth and authenticity and mutual elevation will emerge that you will look back at what you once called love and recognize it as mere preview, mere practice, mere warm-up for the real union awaiting you. The souls arriving in your field now and in the coming months are not random encounters. They are appointments made before you incarnated, meetings scheduled in the between lives where souls coordinate their earthly journeys for maximum mutual evolution. Be watchful. Be present. The face of your next great ally, or beloved or collaborator, may appear in the most unexpected context, recognizable not by appearance but by the unmistakable hum of resonance when your fields touch. Your purpose will crystallize from abstract knowing into concrete action. The stages I see surrounding your energy, and I do see them, platforms and stages and positions of influence where your voice reaches many. These are not fantasy. These are probability lines strengthening with every choice you make that aligns with your authentic self. The art, the music, the speaking, the healing work, whatever form your expression takes, it is seeking you as much as you are seeking it. Your only task is to remain open, to continue clearing the channels through which inspiration can flow, to trust that the specific vehicle for your mission will become clear at the precise moment you are ready to receive it. Not a moment before, despite how much your Mars-activated impatience might prefer a faster timeline. And humanity itself, humanity benefits from your transformation in ways that extend far beyond the individuals you touch directly. Every lighthouse that shines brighter raises the baseline frequency of the entire planetary grid. Every walking activation who masters their gifts with wisdom and discernment contributes to the critical mass necessary for collective awakening. You are not an isolated light in the darkness. You are part of a network of lighthouses positioned strategically around Gaia, each shining in your unique way, each reaching different shores, each calling different souls home to themselves. When you do your personal work, when you navigate this Mars-Saturn square with consciousness rather than reactivity, when you protect your energy while continuing to share your gifts appropriately, when you let the fire refine you rather than destroy you, You are serving not just yourself, but the entire web of awakening consciousness spanning your planet. The transformation awaiting you on the other side of this passage is not a destination, but a new beginning. You will emerge different. You will think differently, perceive differently, feel differently, create differently. The version of you that entered this December will not be the version that enters the new year. Something is dying within you right now. Old patterns, old beliefs, old relationships, old ways of dimming yourself to fit spaces too small for your expanding light. Let it die. Grieve it if you need to, but do not cling to it. The death of the old self is always the prerequisite for the birth of the new. And what is being born in you now is something magnificent, something powerful, something the world has been waiting for without knowing it had been waiting. You are a walking activation. Let that sink in fully. Let it rewrite the way you understand every interaction, every relationship, every moment of your existence. You do not have to try to be spiritual. You do not have to perform enlightenment. You simply have to be yourself, authentically, courageously, unapologetically, and the universe will use your very being as a catalyst for transformation wherever you go. This is your gift. This is your responsibility. And this is why the cosmos is taking such care to ensure you understand both the power and the discernment required to wield it wisely. If you need help embodying your nature as a walking activation, rather than trying to perform spirituality, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to be authentically yourself without the masks of enlightenment performance. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed you to hide your authentic power and repurposing it to serve your true expression. It generates personalized sequences that help you understand every interaction as a catalyst for transformation and wield your gift with the discernment the cosmos intended. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to stop performing spirituality and start being the activation you already are. You don't have to try to be spiritual. You simply have to be yourself. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this activation window closes. Link in the description. As this transmission comes to completion, I want you to return with me to where we began, to the understanding that this message found you at exactly the right moment, that the timing is never accidental, that your presence here is evidence of a coordination occurring across dimensions beyond what your conscious mind can track. The December 8th energy, with all its Mars fire and Saturn testing and waning moon wisdom, is not happening to you but through you. You are not a victim of cosmic forces, but a conscious participant in the greatest transformation your species has ever undertaken. The challenges of this week are not obstacles to your path. They are your path. They are the very curriculum your soul designed for itself in this lifetime, to ensure that when your full power comes online, it rests on a foundation of wisdom strong enough to handle the responsibility. Your energy is addictive. Your presence is healing. Your existence activates those ready to awaken. Your authenticity gives others permission to embrace their own uniqueness. Your light calls the lost ships home. And as that light grows brighter, as your magnetism upgrades to unprecedented levels, as your reach extends to souls you have not yet encountered but who are already feeling the first stirrings of their imminent transformation, know that you are watched over. Know that you are guided. Know that every stumble is allowed as a lesson, and every triumph is celebrated across realms you will one day remember fully. Protect your energy fiercely, and share your gifts freely. Hold your fire with wisdom, and let it warm rather than burn. Be patient with the slower timelines of earthly manifestation, and trust that the cosmic timing is perfect even when your human perspective cannot see the perfection. Let this week's challenges refine you into the version of yourself capable of handling what comes next. Because what comes next is bigger than you have allowed yourself to imagine, brighter than your most luminous dreams, more impactful than your humility has permitted you to believe. You are exquisite. Your energy is a luxury. Treat it as such, guard it as such, and share it with the sacred discrimination that such a precious gift deserves. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you.